let's be real, 2021 feels like a boomerang of 2020. I don't know if anybody else is having the same thing, but the year started off sluggish, it started off slow, it was a bit of a drag. Beginning of the year burnout like had me by my teeth. So yes, 2021 feels like it's a 2020 sequel.
Bye, Felicia.
Like, let's not do that again. Anyhow, I'm Dombi and I'm here to share my love for reading in hopes that it will nudge you towards a more wholesome and inspired reading experience. So let's get into it. Have you ever read a book and felt like it was the perfect time for you to read it? Like it just makes sense in your life right now? I think I've had those moments more times than I could count, but reading this book, and I wish I had it in my hand, but it was an audiobook. Reading this book was really that moment for me. So the book that I'm talking about is More Than Enough by Elaine Welteroth. A year and a half ago, I did not know who Elaine Welteroth was or is. And I caught wind of her name at a work talk actually. She was one of the guests on one of the talk series that our company hosts, and I was like, this sounds great, this book sounds like something that I'd love to read, and I jumped onto it. And now that I've caught myself up on the former Teen Vogue editor story, boy, am I in awe, am I inspired, and I really loved how relatable and real this book was. There's some solid advice and experiences for everybody to take from this book. There are a myriad of topics that are discussed, such as blackness, colorism, ageism, work-life balance, being a woman in the workplace, relationships, you name it. There is a lot for everybody to dig into while reading this book. So I really hope that it will be something that interests you. I really enjoyed it because I could relate to some of the topics that were discussed. I could reflect it back to my own career, reflect it back to some of my own friendships, reflect it back to the experiences that I have had, experiences that I've gone through, and experiences that I may be currently going through. So I really enjoyed the fact that I could, nitpick and relate to certain parts of Elaine's story. So if any of those topics sound like something that you need in your life right now, then jump on this book, honey. I love how multifaceted this book was. And I think in a strange way, it felt like a conversation with a mentor more than anything. If you have a mentor, I strongly advise getting mentors, guys. If you have a mentor, whether it be for your business, career, personal life, whatever, it's always beneficial. It's a great way to grow. It's a great way to have a sounding board for any ideas that you may have, for any thoughts that you may have about making career moves, making business moves, and all kinds of things, right? I really encourage having a mentor if you have access to somebody that you look up to, and somebody that you feel you could be open and honest with. Anyways, I'm rambling because I love my mentor and my mentor conversations. They've really changed how I look at my career, but that is not why we're here. Anyways, this book really felt like I was having a conversation with a mentor in terms of how much I got from it. I definitely shared a few whats and wows whilst going through this book. So this is possibly completely unrelated, but there were certain moments in the book that triggered some inside jokes from my own career journey. One of those inside jokes was, so with one of my good friends, mentors, actually now an ex-boss, whenever I hit a brick wall on a task or on a project or whatever, she'd always be like, nobody puts baby in a corner. I'm gonna help you out with this. So there's a part of the book that I think it's the beginning of a chapter that says nobody puts baby in a corner, and I just cracked thinking about that.
Come on, he's just a baby.
And that actually is a reference from Dirty Dancing. I did not know this, but I was like, why does this phrase keep coming up in my life? So I had to check it out. It is a scene in Dirty Dancing. Anyhow, I digress. This book is pretty candid in tone. I listened to the audiobook like I mentioned. I did that on Audible, and it's narrated by the author. I know some people don't like that, but I enjoyed it. I think it was, yeah, well done. Overall, it's great connecting the dots on how Elaine carved out her own identity, from how things were in her early years, her early childhood days, growing up in a diverse family structure, and also pulling a lot of lessons from her career journey and her relationships. So if you're really keen on this one, I would say brace yourself for a 20+ chapter deep dive into Elaine's journey, her life, and essentially how she discovered herself in the whole journey. So I really enjoyed that. So here's basically what I think you can take away from the book, or rather this is what I took away from the book, right? One, the road to where you're traveling won't always be rosy. It won't always be rosy. There will always be challenges along the way. It's just all about you and your character and how you face those challenges and how you learn from them. Sometimes this involves being in spaces, in places that are not necessarily built for you, but these are places that can help you grow, places that you actually have influence and the power to maybe change those spaces so that anyone following in your footsteps has a better chance of succeeding or a better chance of impact in that area. 2, it can be done, guys. If anything, Elaine's story for me has shown that if you just stay headstrong, pull through, push through, work hard, and staying true to yourself, you can actually achieve what you want to achieve. So it can be done. If you feel demotivated, just push on, stick to your North Star, and you really will get there. 3, the book really gives off a manifesto feel. It really gives great motivation. I think if you are a woman struggling in the workplace, or a woman still trying to find her feet in the workplace, or you're new to your industry, or you're new to your job, or you simply just want motivation for workplace environments and whatnot, I would say pick up this book and charge up on that motivation, charge up on those good lessons that Elaine shares. So it really is for any and all ambitious women, right? Anyway, whether you're running your own business, or you're in the workplace, or you're not quite there yet, but you're just like, I'm curious, I love Elaine, I've heard about her, I would like to jump on this book. Definitely jump on this book. If you enjoyed this video and you're looking for another book that is just like this one for you to read, check out the video in my cards for another great suggestion. Follow me and my bookish journey, and yeah, let's see where the story takes us. See you in the next video.